kancane kancane sizophumelela ababakho ngibana
Esimnyama ngekani sakebhula umhlaba zabukisa phansi naphezulu. Iyo Jose siyabulela. Esimnyama ngekani sakebhula umhlaba zabukisa phansi naphezulu. Iyo Jose siyabulela. Wafika eMzantsi Afrika.
Good day, family. Welcome once again on the Big Daddy Football Corner. And football is back, and it's exciting. 2025 to 2026 season for Orlando Pirates started on the MTN8Wafawafa, a winner takes all quarterfinal. Match played at Orlando Stadium, Esgodini, where Orlando Pirates impressively won with 2-0. A very impressive performance, a very dominant display from Orlando Pirates. And goals were scored by Oswin, Appollis, and the penalty that was scored by Tito. What impressed me the most was firstly his coach Wadu. The fact that he did not press the reset button as soon as he arrived at Orlando Pirates. And there was an interview that I saw coach Rulani Mkwena, and he was saying one of the mistakes that he made when he joined Orlando Pirates was pressing the reset button too quickly, and probably that's why he did not succeed as he wanted to be. And Coach Wadu, learned from some such experiences, because Orlando Pirates still plays the same way that Jose Rivero, team was playing. The only thing that he did was just to improve. The behaviors are still the same. The schemes are still the same. It's just here tweaks, here and there, in the Orlando Pirates game model, and improve on what, already Jose have laid. Beautiful to see people coming out at Orlando Stadium, sold out stadium. The atmosphere was electrifying. Amapagania wearing their new Orlando Pirates jersey. It was beautiful to see. And thank you to everyone, that attended that particular match. It was such an experience at Orlando Stadium, and the atmosphere that is being, being shown that stadium is beautiful to see. Let's get into the game. Maybe let's start with game formations. We've spoken about it in this channel that Emma game formations will always be the static, the static position of the players, and then Emma game system will be the dynamic when it changes, in different phases of the match. Polokwane City formation, they started with a 4-1-4-1, with Umashiane up front, and Orlando Pirates played with a 4-4-3, with Shaine, Shandu, Hoto, Sibisi Mbogazi, Mbule, Nduli, and Appollis started, and the Rele, and then Tito, as well as Radio Pane. And then if you go and look at the video, the short clip that I sent, and I posted on the YouTube channel, predicting the lineup, I think there's just only two changes. Only it's Shandu starting ahead of Utiano, and then obviously Appollis starting ahead of Moremi. And then when we look at Orlando Pirates build up, it was very, very impressive. And what I think is different from what Jose did is Orlando Pirates have gone with an asymmetric build up, where if we more use Hoto's side, and Hoto is pushed more wide, and then Urele will tuck inside. And when Hoto goes up, Ushandu does not necessarily go as high as Hoto, and then it comes off of an asymmetric shape. And when Ushandu then goes up, Hoto does stay and continue to keep up that the 3-1, sometimes 3-2 rest defense, depending. But mostly it's always a 3-2 rest defense and a 3-2 build-up shape. And we seem not to be caught on transition, and this is something that we've talked about a lot into this channel. And for me, the Orlando Pirates build-up was fluid, it was neat, it was smooth, it was easy on the eye. The quality of the double pivot, Gambule and Unduli, for me, it's an upgrade from Ombata and Omakaula in a lot of sense, in terms of quality and in terms of ability to play, with the ball, the short passes. It was very beautiful to see. The positional rotation was also epic to witness, especially when Tito drops, and wants to collect, and then Umbule will push up into the 10 position, and as soon as Appollis tuck in more inside, and then Ushandu will go on the line, and when Shandu comes inside, Appollis goes into the line. When Hoto, stretches, out wide, and Urele comes more inside. For me, it was beautiful to see. And Orlando Pirates played with 3 10s, because Urele was also a 10, Tito was a 10, Appollis also played a 10. And for me, this season, Tito, Appollis played more of a free role of some sort, in some instances where he was allowed to do diagonal runs and go on the other side of Urele. Just look at the goal, that he scored, where he was, and you ask yourself and say, oh, okay, when we're right wing, Ufunane on the right hand side. That's what I'm talking about in terms of the positional rotation, number 1. 2, in terms of him being given that free role in able to do those diagonal balls and exploit that side. It will be beautiful to see the Orlando Pirates attacking that. So Orlando Pirates attack this season with those players. 12 minutes, it was a goal. A great pass, window breaking pass from Unduli. Radio Pane, control, lay with the left. Appollis far post. I've already talked about the positioning of Appollis, where he was, and he's meant to be a right winger, but he's on Riley's side, which just talks to what I'm talking about, positional rotation, as well as him being given that free role, to also go on the other side. For me, Ushaina also impressed me in this particular match, especially in the first half, in terms of how he dominated his box, how he came out, and claimed the ball. I think in the first half, there was not even one instance where he was caught, when he went out. I think it was only in the second half where he tried to come out, and I think he missed that ball. And I think for me, it's a little bit of an improvement in that. And number 2, what also impressed me was how he played the ball quicker. As soon as he make a save, he always look forward and looking at the runs, and he plays the ball. Actually, in this game, I think there was 1 or 2 instances where the players were more not making the runs that he wanted, so that he carried the ball. Beautiful for me. I also saw Orlando Pirates' variation on corner kicks, where they had the corner kick taker, and then they had 2 players out next to the corner kick, and then that, because they wanted to provoke a short corner kick, because had Polokwane City not continued with the 3 men, or the man-to-man marking in Kulama corner kicks, Orlando Pirates could have done a short corner kick, because they don't have that physical profile to play crosses inside the box. Also, if you take out 3 players from the box, then you even have better chances of being able, to win balls inside in that corner kick inside the box, especially because in corner kicks you always have the opposition have more players than you have. So then Orlando Pirates obviously got a penalty. Polokwane City made a foul inside the box. Appollis also, who was the man of the match, also in being present in that particular box, in that particular foul. And it explains exactly what I've been talking about when I say I don't want Tito this season, dropping off. I want him to be at the tip of the triangle of that 3-man defense, and look, or before that penalty that was considered, where he received the ball. It was right in between the channels. He received the ball, and then he passed the ball to Rede. That is where I want Tito, at the tip of the triangle, in between the lines. That's the Tito that I want, in my own view. Whenever I was talking about positioning at Tito, I think this game and this goal specifically, it shows exactly, in this attack where I want him, to be. I know he's the kind of a player that always wants to be on the ball. If it takes 2-3 minutes he's not on the ball, he becomes cold and he gains his confidence by being on the ball. But for me, for the structure of Orlando Pirates to work, we need him at the tip of the triangle. And then second half, to be honest, there was nothing to write home about. I think Polokwane City raised the bar a little bit. I think the difference in this particular match was they moved away from the 4-1, 2-1, 4-1, 4-1, sorry, and then they went into a 4-3 where there was more support, on the striker. They also stretched Orlando Pirates team, because in the first half they were playing a little bit narrow in the middle, and they were allowing them, to make those quick passes in front of them. But this time around they stretched them wider, and even Shandu had to work even more, because he was asked, to pull wider. There was also overload on Shandu's side as well, and I think that's what made the second half Polokwane City come back into the match. And also they made quick switches into the side, because before they will have a free player on Shandu's side, but they did not switch the ball quickly into the other side. So I think that's the reason why in the second half Polokwane City seemed to gain a little bit of an advantage. Man of the match performance from Oswin Appollis, and congratulations for him to score his first Orlando Pirates goal and winning the man of the match. But for me, my man of the match in this particular game was Sikhlenduli. Oof. Oh man, guys. I think for me, even when it was announced that Orlando Pirates have signed him on a free contract, I said, beautiful. Because for me, he's the second best CDM in the entire country. That's why I was shocked when I was watching Twitter, people, saying, talking about equality, to say he's not the quality that Orlando Pirates need. I'm like, what are these people talking about? And I think he proved, in this particular game, how brilliant he is in terms of his positional intelligence, in terms of his tactical awareness, in terms of his spatial awareness, and knowing when to be and where to be in every phase of the match, and able not to be attracted to the ball and sit in front of the back four and able to defend it. But most importantly for me, what I loved the most about Unduli is his leadership qualities, because for the first time after a very long time, we have a player that will direct traffic, always organizing the structure and ensuring that everybody is where they need to be. And when a good player, and when a player does a tackle or anything, Unduli is the first one, to clap hands and say, that's good. And that's the kind of a player that Orlando Pirates needed. I personally think that Sikhlenduli is going to be the best Orlando Pirates player this particular season. He's going to be the difference into where Orlando Pirates end up. It was good to see Uyanela Mbutuma, getting a run, his off the ball runs, beautiful to see how he peels off, from defense. He just needs the goal. And then Tsepang Moremi as well, beautiful to see him playing more inside, because he likes to come from the left and come more inside. He's like almost a duplicate of Nkota to a certain extent. Also good to see Abdoleane Mariko as well. I think it's still early to say anything, but we all know he's comfortable on the ball. He's not afraid, to make those support runs. He's not afraid to Pagate Skupina. Play that bounce pass, and drag the defender with him. That's for me. It's the positioning for him and his ability to be able to always want to be on the ball. And for me, I think that's where I end it. If there's anything that I've missed, please let me know. I'm trying to make sure that it is as short as possible. Please comment, like, and share this particular video. Danko, Bafetu, danko.